It is truly amazing how we can just say racist things if you're African American and just get away with it, get a new show. I mean, a white dude says, I'd like my coffee black, and he is, oh, you're misappropriating or whatever the hell it is. But Jemele Hill continues to amaze me. You know, it's actually fascinating what this no-talent hack has been able to accomplish in her life simply by being an African-American woman and claiming that everybody in the world other than her is racist. Now, it's really astounding. And in this era where a campaign, a presidential campaign at that, is very comfortable calling half of the country Nazis and saying, we want women's rights, we want more baby killing. And that's a campaign that's actually resonating. Well, don't know if it really is. I'm guessing there'll be something going on here at some point in some time that'll either designate that it worked or it designate that it doesn't work, and that would be Election Day. But here's the deal. You can continue as an African-American woman to say the most god-awful, wretched, divisive things, and hey, we'll give you a show. Not only will it give you a show, we'll make you popular. We'll put you on TV with Charles Barkley, Kenny, Shaq, and Ernie. It's astounding to me. Newly donned TNT TV host Jemele Hill was recently in the midst of a racist breakdown on X, lashing out against former race car driver Danica Patrick for voting for Donald Trump, calling Patrick's voting decision unhinged and an example of why she does not trust white women in America. Well, I will bet your ass that white women and men are the ones that have given her jobs her entire career. But when convenient, it doesn't trust her. There's a clown. There's a clown at ESPN named Stephanie Drewley. Stephanie Drewley, all you got to know about Stephanie Drewley is that her picture on X or in the ESPN profile bios is that of her heavily made up and a glam shot. Stephanie Drewley is a woman at ESPN that's scared to death of her job. So she, in the position that she is in, either hired or endorsed the hiring of Jemele Hill over the years at ESPN. I don't know if she actually did. She doesn't seem to be that powerful, but she does sit in one of the most powerful offices in Building 4. Stephanie Drewley, hired as a white woman, was involved in hiring, I should say, Jemele Hill. Most white women and most men that run companies have been involved in hiring Jemele Hill. But because one race car driver, ex-race car driver at that, decided, I'm going to vote my own way. This is where the buck stops. This is where white women cannot be trusted. So the problem is, can anyone guess? I can't cue white see it. Oh, my God. This is like, this is like the cute little kids like Mina Kimes, y'all. And other words. All the cool kids got all the words. Cue white. I can't cue white see it. White men, Latino men, 72% black men. Of course that's true. Ain't no brothers want that woman in their house, much less, well, in office. You don't trust her. Nobody trusts her. And everybody knows that Trump's done more for African-American males, females, than any president in United States history. Man, Jemele Hill, maybe calling them the worst thing in America has some consequences. That was the answer to Jemele Hill. Jemele Hill, well, maybe them being the worst thing in America for decades has its consequences. Yeah, I don't know. They sure hired your sorry ass, your untalented ass, your woke, ridiculous, big fat ass, by the way. Yeah, they did, but they're the worst things in America. Now, I will argue they're the worst things in America for hiring you. Now, that argument can be made, you and Michael Smith, although Michael Smith's a pretty good dude. But between the two of these two clowns, going on the 6 was a complete disaster for ESPN. It was all DEI-based, and they were terrible at what they did because they were lazy, and she's just bad at her job. But anyway, so now men and women of whiteness are the worst things in America for decades. Okay, Jemele Hill, if it pays, you go, girl. Hill has made millions of dollars. I don't know that she really has. I would bet she hasn't. I would bet she hasn't made millions of dollars. She got a big contract, but I'll bet you something's up there. Hill's made millions of dollars while spewing anti-white bigotry under the employment of white men. How does TNT support this? In fact, Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav, a white man, just hired Hill this week to anchor a new weekly sports show on TNT's True TV. Seriously. But white men, white women, have been the worst things in America for decades. If this woman actually had to talk sports, she could. She did. She's awful. Doesn't know her ass from third base, even though her ass is bigger than third base. I got personal right there. I'm tired of people coming at me as a white man. I am tired of it. I've had enough of it, and I'm not holding back no more. I'm not. She's a jackass. She's a racist. She's a pig, is how I view Jemele Hill, period. I've had enough. I think we all have. If Hill actually considered white men the worst thing in America, she would not have accepted that job, nor would she have worked for John Skipper at ESPN and Meadowlark Media. Skipper, by the way, is a white guy. Used to run ESPN. Moreover, Hill's longtime agent and manager is Evan Dick, a sheepish white guy who used to work under Nick Khan at not CNN, CAA. Come on. If whites are evil and black women are as superior as Hill claims, why not hire a black female as her agent? I'll tell you what. For about 10 minutes, I worked for a white company, Urban One. It's a black media company. First thing they said, enhancing the black experience or whatever. Great. I'm down with it. First meeting, didn't show. No, that's right. Brought everybody in. They bought this company. Big meeting. They don't show. Second meeting, 45 minutes late. Did the sisters say, hey, we apologize? Of course not. No, of course not. But it gets better. So everybody knows these DEI sessions are a mess. This black company, for whatever the reason, that really promoted being African-American centric, hired 2 white women as attorneys to come in and talk to us. That made me laugh. That made other African-Americans that I was sitting by laugh. Because reasonable people know this is a scam. Reasonable people, as I watched Am I a Racist last night, get along famously. Famously. Jackasses, ridiculous, racist, horrible human beings like Jemele Hill don't. They've got to promote their own agenda. But in the real world, we all get along just fine. I go to Kroger over here. Kroger in my neighborhood has everybody. I mean, you name it, we got it. On the east side of Indy. Everybody, hey, how you doing? Good to see you, whatever. But not in Jemele Hill's world. Go against what this clown, this dumbass thinks, and you are considered the worst in the world. But it is amazing. Why not hire a white agent? Why not work for a black company? Radio One's hiring. Hell, I just kicked their ass with an afternoon show that just started 9 months ago to be the best radio show in the state of Indiana against a group that actually came into my old job, which was number 1 in the state. And they screwed it up and got beat by me, so they're looking for hosts. Go work for an African-American company if white people are so evil. White people are evil, but I'll take their opportunity. White people are evil, but I'll take their money. You know there's a bullshit answer that she has, right? We all know that, but that's okay. Here's Bobby Barack's tweet. For an update on Jemele Hill's racist rant this weekend that culminated with her calling white men the worst thing in America, her white male bosses made it clear they won't comment on the record. Translation, they ain't happy, but they're scared. What are you scared of? What are you scared of? I mean, you would actually have the respect of people, if you want the respect of Hill, by saying, no, Jemele Hill overstepped. Jemele Hill is never going to do that again and continue to be employed here. See, I'm not for firing people, but Jemele Hill will never work here again if she continues that direction, that path. You know what would happen? Nothing. Not a thing. Because people are waking up to race baiters and grifters. People are waking up to the folks like Hill. No one's going to watch her show. They'll do everything they can to promote it. White guys will kiss her big fat ass. But the truth of the matter is no one's watching that garbage. They're no different than Bomani Jones or any of these other grifters that have nothing to say other than white men bad to get attention. And look, we've already given her 10 minutes. But I've had enough. I've had enough of being called a Nazi. Damn, I work my nuts off. I pay more than my fair share of taxes. I've raised good kids. I've helped raise stepkids. I take care of my mother. Well, I don't really take care of my mother. My mother doesn't need taking care of. My mother's a stud. You kidding me? But you get the point. And yet, because somebody doesn't like Donald Trump, we're all Nazis? Screw you. The hell with you. I would say another word, but only Nick can swear on this show. Yeah, I've had enough. I've had enough of sitting back and watching fat-ass, no-talent hacks like Jemele Hill call white guy the worst thing ever. If I'm the worst thing ever, then the world is pretty damn fucking good. How about that? This is pretty funny. Now, I would argue, I don't know, Trevon Diggs is the worst person ever. I don't think he is, but this is pretty funny. Trevon Diggs is a cornerback for the very bad, very, very bad Dallas Cowboys. They can't beat off. But anyway, the Dallas Cowboys, Trevon Diggs, brother of Stephon Diggs, both complete pains in the ass. He was mad, and he unloaded on a reporter for a tweet he sent out during the Cowboys 49ers game that was critical of Diggs, with the brother of all-time Diva, Stephon Diggs, stating to the reporter, "You don't know about football. You can't do anything that I do." Oh, the hell we can't. Are you nuts? There's only one thing you can do better than anybody ever, and that's play football. Everything else, I'll take that challenge anytime, anywhere. I mean, told the reporter, talk about these nuts. Well, first, he's not very smart if that's the direction he goes. So a debate is out of the question for this idiot. But here's the exchange. It's actually pretty funny.
Took from that? Out of that whole play, that's what you took from that? You don't know football. You can't do nothing that I do. You can't go out there and do nothing. Stay in your lane, buddy. Stop playing with me, bro.
Just asking a question, Trevon. I mean, I'm happy to have you answer the question.
Out of that whole play, that's what you took for that? That's what you got from that whole play, that's what you got from that?
I'm asking you. We can talk about it more. What were you doing then?
I love it. The whole Diggs family should be embarrassed. What a mess. The whole play, that's what you got from that? I mean, what are we supposed to do? Hold these guys that get their ass kicked on pedestals? You know what? Screw you too. That's right. These nuts. Angry today. And I ain't mad about it. But look, let's be honest. These Cowboy dudes, you can't play in the Big D for the Cowboys if you're going to be sensitive. You can't play in the NFL these days if you're going to be sensitive. You just can't. I mean, if you're going to be a little whiner, then you shouldn't play. If you're going to be in college sports, then you shouldn't play. College athletes, I just heard this. Kid transferred to Vanderbilt to play basketball. Vanderbilt to play basketball. $800,000 is what he got. Think about that. $800,000. You're a pro. If you're a pro, act like it. If you're mad at some little white dude tweeting at you, get over it. Just saying. Now, I'm a guy that goes back at people on Twitter, or I used to. I don't do it so much anymore. But I got to tell you, if I was in my Indiana uniform walking off the court after a loss, I probably would have said something too. It's easy to sit here in my little Indiana stuff and say, hey, let it go. Don't worry about it. It's a lot harder to actually do. I feel you, whatever your name is, Diggs. But damn. Anyway, in Indianapolis, we had to hear all offseason 17 national writers, pundits, if you will, including the great Mina Kimes, telling us, don't sleep on the Colts. Don't sleep on Anthony Richardson. Y'all, that's the new thing with Mina Kimes and others. Chase Daniel. Oh, don't sleep on Anthony Richardson. Okay. Apparently Anthony Richardson wants to go to sleep. The Colts quarterback took himself out because he was, quote, tired. He was tired. And in the red zone, on third down and about $1 million, but in the red zone, down in the fourth quarter, the quarterback of the Indianapolis Colts tapped out. He did. He said no mas. He Roberto Duranded. I got to take a break. Flacco's like, what the hell, never seen this before. And then Richardson admitted it. Here's Anthony Richardson reacting to why he tapped out.
Man, tired. I ain't gonna lie. That was a lot of running right there, what I did, and I don't think I was gonna be able to go that next play. So I just, just told Sam I just needed a break right there.
Jesus, and he thinks it's good. No, that's even worse. This guy has been so coddled, so entitled, that he thinks, yeah, man, what's wrong with you? It's a you prop. What? In football, as a quarterback, you're tapping out? Name me another one. Somebody said way back on a 100-degree day, after doing something, Jim Harbaugh had to take a break because he was puking. That's a little different. That's a little different than tapping out. Hey, I need to come out. Next time, Anthony Richardson should lie. No, he should. You know what? I just felt a little weird. I thought I was going to puke. I needed to get to the sideline. I realized I did, and I went back in. Don't tell it, man. And he's laughing. Damn. Now, we all knew Anthony Richardson was an unpolished gem. But damn, I didn't know he was an incredibly entitled, unpolished gem. People around the NFL have never seen such a thing. They haven't. I haven't. I've been watching the NFL for 100 years. Maybe I just didn't know. Here's Pat McAfee. I'd never seen an NFL quarterback tap out while still being healthy until watching Anthony Richardson. Quarterback is your franchise. The message it sends is loud and influential. Well, of course, the fanboys of Indianapolis are mad because former Colt Darius Butler, and by the way, McAfee is a former Colt right here in Indianapolis, joined in. Butler wasn't happy with it either. Who could be? The fanboys are mad at Pat. See, not me. I think Pat's absolutely right. I've never seen it. It is influential to the point where Ryan Kelly, the Colts' massive and longtime center, said, look, we had a talk. We explained to him this isn't the right thing to do. This isn't how you go about your business. And Kelly also did a really good thing. He said, look, this guy's playing really hard for us. He's getting hit every play. In fact, there's only been 3 this year, 60% passing pressure rates, meaning 60% of the time a quarterback drops back, he is pressured, getting hit, whatever. 2 of the 3 have been Richardson. Now, again, I go back to Little Mina Kimes. Little Mina Kimes and the rest of the ESPN crazy people, DEI hires, said, boy, the Colts offensive line is going to be great this year. 4 penalties later on our all-world supposed left guard, Quentin Nelson, Colts are sitting at 4-4. The quarterback is tapping out, and ex-players are questioning, and current players are having to have a talk with the guy nobody's supposed to sleep on. That's not a mess, but I do like what Shane Steichen, the guy who is absolutely a media creation, again, Little Mina Kimes, how can anybody not be impressed with Shane Steichen? I'll tell you how, because we all know football, and you're a DEI hire. What are you talking about? The guy's play calling is abysmal. Backed up in their own end zone, 25 seconds ago, he calls a pass. Richardson, America's most inaccurate passer, damn near throws an interception. The defensive back for the Houston Texans drops. What does Steichen do next play? Calls essentially the same play. What does Richardson do? Richardson thinks. Throws it to the other team for an interception. Ball gets down to inside the 10. Next play, touchdown back at end zone. A disaster because the coach sucks and sucked last year. Don't at me about it either. Colts season isn't over, but Richardson tapping out, and now the coach is saying we are reevaluating every position. No kidding, huh? Probably should. You know, all my boys here back in Nash Vegas love the Titans. They love them some Vols, who, by the way, got their ass whipped by my Indiana Hoosiers basketball team in a charity game. But I digress, Dylan. I digress to football. All the great correction. Mike Vrabel, too tough, too mean. Derrick Henry, over the hill. We got a new sheriff in town, the mayonnaise man, Will Levis. Yeah? Okay. Not so good. New owner, some woman. We're getting rid of everybody. We're redoing this thing. Yay, rock. Go fight, win. Well, the general manager, Ron Carthon, who when he was hired was considered the greatest. Why you act? I'll let you look at the bio. Delivered a brutal message to fans after another embarrassing loss for the Titans that will only build fan frustration. Sounds like a lot of excuses are being made here, Ronnie. Here it is. My message for the fans would be just stay with us. Yeah? We understand your frustration. We're frustrated too. But we're working diligently every day. I wonder if he knows what that means. To get to the next one. All right. That's what we're going to do. For us to come in and have to flip the roster. Excuse. You didn't have to flip nothing. You decided you didn't like Vrabel. You decided you didn't like Derrick Henry. You made that very clear. You didn't flip squat. Let's get that straight right now. Old excuses, Ron. The way if you flip the roster, the way you have to get to a competitive point. Let me back up. You know my boy Ryan Grigson? So Ryan Grigson takes over a 2-14 team. The owner says you got to get rid of Peyton Manning. Grigson says you got to get rid of Peyton Manning. He does. Dallas Clark, new Ring of Honor, gone. Bunch of guys, gone. Team went 11-5. Just saying. And it had, along with Andrew Luck, T.Y. Hilton, Vic Ballard, and 2 tight ends, to this day, the most yards by a draft class on offense ever. That's flipping the roster. This is excuse making. But hey, all right, and not be able to see the W's in the win column. We understand. We understand the fan base's frustration. But I promise you we're working as hard as we can to fix it and get it right, really. When's the last time someone said, you know what, we suck and I don't feel like working at it no more. They've broken my spirit. Ron Carthon's full of shit is what he is. I ain't mad at you. You just are. That's the job here. We get through the woke nonsense. You're full of shit. You made a decision. You thought you were smarter than everyone. Hey, Will Levis is our guy. Derrick Henry got to go. We're bringing in the cancer that is DeAndre Hopkins. And we don't have the structure to support a DeAndre Hopkins. From that standpoint, God only made us so many talented football players. There's only so many good football players that are available to you on the street. So if you're not in the market for trading for them, then you have to keep churning the roster. Keep working out guys. How about that? God only made so many. All right, Ron, but see, here's the deal. You did go find what were supposed to be some good ones. You did go to the Bengals and take one of their best receivers. You did go get what all the idiots that are in the NFL consider an elite wide receiver, DeAndre Hopkins. See, I know DeAndre Hopkins is a cancer. I don't care whether ESPN, the magazine, CNN, ABC, EFCD, whatever, writes an article on DeAndre Hopkins and his mother. This is a sick dude that crapped up the combine here in Indianapolis. No, true story. He and a wide receiver from Rutgers decided it was a good idea to take dumps and wipe it all over the walls, the ceiling, to the tune of $15,000 it took at the combine in the hotel where the players stayed to fix and renovate this room. He got sued and paid. Who does that? Now let me ask you, who does that? A sick does that. Starts with an N, ends with a K, and is in fire truck. A sick starts with an F, ends with a K, is in fire truck, does that. Only. Think about it. When's the last time you were in a hotel room, even when you were in your teens or your 20s, and thought, you know what, I'm going to take a dump and do so much damage, wiping it, I don't know why you would do that, all over the walls. That's what DeAndre Hopkins did. Guarantee you this guy, this Carthon, didn't know it. I've said forever, dude's rotten. Had a couple nice years when he was humble at Texas. Dude's rotten, but that's who you chose to bring in. You chose Will Levis to be your quarterback. You chose to get rid of Derrick Henry. That's on you. Nobody else, you. So you can bitch, whine, and moan and make excuses. But you know what? When a general manager comes in like Carthon came in, man, he was going to reinvent the wheel. Mike Vrabel, not our guy, right? That lady owner of the Titans. I'm glad. I told Vrabel the other day, never have I rooted harder for a team to lose that I really don't care about than the Titans. He texts back. I'm not going to tell you what he said. Shaq is back. This time Shaq isn't being a perv, commenting on Angel Reese's booty shorts. This time he's blasting Joel Embiid for refusing to play in back-to-backs, calling him soft in the process. Here's the Shaq on the attack to Embiid.
You have to want to be that guy. And with his statements the other day, I don't think Joel wants to be that guy. I actually want him to take it personal. Like, you can't come out before the season and say, I'm not playing back-to-back. Say it again. Spell it. S-O-F, capital T. A shout out to you guys. I wanted all the smoke. I'm in L.A. It ain't Magic City no more. I want it. Bring it to me. So when he came out and said, I'm not playing back-to-back, I thought about it first. I'm like, you don't get double-teamed. You don't get triple-teamed. Oh, he's picking pop. Why are you tired? Until he steps up and takes that responsibility and puts the city and the team on his back. Because he can do it. Like, he got pissed off one time last year. How many he dropped?
70
on
the Spurs.
So if you can drop 70 when you're pissed off, you can average 40.
He looked great in the Olympics against Jokic, too.
He did.
I love the little guys. Why don't guys shut up when they're interviewing somebody? Pay attention when I interview people. I shut up. Anyway, let's move it along, people. Oh, man, this is the dude that keeps on giving. Now, I agree, Tim Walz does make white people look horrible. I agree. Look, as a white male, I must confess, he does in no way, shape, or form represent me or any of my white guy brethren that I know or grew up with. I'm sorry he doesn't. Pick six is not a play. If it's a 2-minute drill, you can't go inch by inch. Tim Walz and AOC get flamed for an awful Madden stream intended to appeal to young male voters. These people are so stupid. This is what they did right here. This is the Switch public service announcement. Me versus Tim Walz, Madden. Word on the street, I don't know if this is true or not, but there's a lot of rumors around that AOC's pregnant, but she's not going to tell anyone until after the election because she's so pro-abortion. Don't abort your baby, AOC. You're kind of hot. You'll have hot kids. I mean, morons, but you'll have hot kids. There's the advertisement. Me versus Tim Walz, Madden, Twitch TV, AOC. All right. Kamala Harris is doing so badly with men, they now are desperately having AOC playing Madden on Twitch with Tampon Tim. Oh, man. Here it is. Let's hear some of this exchange.
Unbelievable. No, and I keep going back to this. This Project 2025 from Personal Freedoms. I think a lot of folks on here are kind of independent folks, independent thinkers about things. Why would you want the government telling you what books to read or what doctor to see or how big your family can be? That kind of stuff is ridiculous. And so I think you talk about football planning, it's the same way. If you're going to draw up a playbook in football, you're going to use it. Those guys drew up a playbook, and it's Project 2025.
And they put millions of dollars into Project 2025. You don't spend millions of dollars without planning to use it.
Oh, God, no. And it's all these people around him. And J.D. Vance said, I don't know anything about it. He wrote the foreword of the book of The Architect. Who wrote that?
How about that? I'm going to tell you right now, I don't care about abortion. I don't care about Project 2025. And I for damn sure don't care about January 6th. And I care even less about these two idiots playing Madden together. Now, if that appeals to you, you're already voting for these two idiots. I mean, let's be honest. If you watch that, you're already voting for them. You think anyone's going to say, hey, look, man, that guy with very effeminate tendencies is playing Madden against a woman that talks like a 10-year-old. I want to watch. Did you realize actual men are watching actual football? Did Tim Walz fail to load the shotgun? These are pretty funny, shotgun formation. I also obsess over Trump while playing my video games. Is this how you dipshits are trying to appeal to young voters, pretending to play video games? It really is amazing. No, it really is. I mean, everything is on the table when they're not calling us Nazis. Again, I pay more tax than I should. I've raised 2 great kids. I've helped raise 2 stepkids. I've put stepkids and my own kids through college. I've been working a job since I was 10, I think, when I was a paper boy. Let me see, 12. I mean, what the hell? And I'm a Nazi to you because I don't vote for you? I don't vote for the effeminate male and the frickin' idiot? Because I don't vote for an effeminate male and an idiot, I'm a Nazi? That's bullshit. That's complete bullshit. And I don't understand how anybody, any male, first off, with the great American penis, I understand all you effeminate dudes out there. You know, I get it. But I don't understand how anybody can't vote for Trump. Why are we Nazis? Why? Trump was in office for 4 years. I didn't see, I don't know, Hitler behavior. I didn't see Nazi behavior. I didn't see me, you, or anybody else change. It's not like the guy hasn't been in office. It just pisses me off to continue to hear this bullshit rhetoric because I'm not voting for idiots. Because Hillary Clinton allows her husband to bang everything, allegedly have abortions. Hell, I got a neighbor right there's a Clinton. Tells you all kind of stuff. Then I'm a Nazi because I'm not voting for some cackling jackass and her effeminate lying ass running mate? Man, I got to tell you, man, I've had enough. I have. And if I get fired from this job for being too strong, and the game was 0-0, by the way. They didn't even know what the hell they were doing. Because I'm not voting for a fraudulent campaign based on killing babies and calling people names. You know, all this money that Kamala Harris is giving away, I saw an economist. In her programs, Make the Rich Pay Their Fair Share is going to pay for housing and everything else. The programs that she is proposing, if every billionaire in the United States gave up every dime he had in tax, it wouldn't pay for what she's doing. Just because people are getting duped, just because people are stupid or so devoted to their party, the Democratic Party, or so devoted to a woman of color, or so devoted to hating Trump, you want to vote for him, fine. But how about talking about policies instead of talking about me, you, and my friends being Nazis? What a bunch of bullshit. And that's all they got. Let me go back to Jemele Hill for a sec. Oh, wait a second. Nick, get in here. Is it possible to get Nick in here? Real quick. The Yankees last night, they were all fired up. The world was fired up. Everything was fired up, right? Yankee Stadium was going. And then Freddie Freeman happened. And it sucked the life, the air, everything out of Yankee Stadium. I hate to say this, and it's not true, but it kind of is. The game felt over when Freeman did that. Long time ago, I was at a Cubs-Dodgers playoff series. This is when Manny Ramirez was with the Dodgers. Manny either hit a home run or hit a double into the gap in the first inning. My brother and I were sitting there, and it was like 2-0, same kind of deal. And my brother and I were sitting there going, man, this crowd knows it's over. And it was. Last night, that's how it felt. You got to give the Dodgers credit, man. You got to give Ohtani credit. I don't know why he was stealing up 4-1, but what the hell? Now he's got a bit of a dislocated shoulder. But you got to give the Dodgers credit. They last night, and Freddie Freeman credit. While Nick Judge is struggling to get a hit, or Aaron Judge is struggling to get a hit, see, Nick, I'm missing you. I called you Nick Judge. Aaron Judge can't get a hit. Freddie Freeman can. Nah, it's too bad. I think it's going to be over tonight. I do. Unfortunately, because I really do. I enjoy the World Series. I enjoy this World Series, even though I did flash back. I did. I flashed back to football. I did, because I had bet the over on the Steelers and the Giants. And by the way, I don't know what in the hell people are doing in the NFL, but anybody that gave that freaking Daniel Jones that kind of money is a fool. I don't give a damn if he ran for a touchdown last year and outran the defense. I don't give a damn if he's 6'5" and can throw the ball through it. He's terrible. No. He is terrible. I don't know if Russell Wilson's any better, but I don't know that Russell Wilson has to be. See, Russell Wilson has a defense. Russell Wilson's got a bit of an offensive line. Not great, but a bit of one. But damn, I know this for damn sure. Daniel Jones is god-awful. And anybody that gave him that kind of money is really stupid. But there's a lot of stupid in the NFL. Anyone that gave Tua that kind of money is really stupid. And oh, by the way, don't think for a second that these boys and gals in Vegas aren't the smartest people ever. The line last night, 7.5. 6.5 for a while. Friends of mine got it at 7.5, and you know the rest. 8-point win. Weird things happen.